Hi people, I'm Judd. I'm a professional astrologer with 35 years professional astrological experience behind me, and these are my forecasts for April 2015. They're being recorded immediately after the near total eclipse of the sun on March the 20th, so excuse any passion involved. Enjoy. And this is the global forecast for April 2015. Probably the last month of intensity until at least September, October of 2015. And even then, April's not going to be as bad as previous months, just the first week or two. Pluto's really moving forward in Capricorn. It's into mid-Capricorn now. It's hitting the middle degrees of Capricorn. So, you know, we're beginning to really get the grips with the ongoing transformation of political, economic, militaristic states. Old borders are crumbling. The Uranus-Pluto square is finished. Uranus is now moving forward into Aries ahead of Pluto. Change is now ahead of the transformation. And we're seeing a lot more innovation, a lot more independence issues arising as we get into the end of April. More and more the rights of the individual are going to become the buzzword, which is going to be particularly relevant for some of the elections for the coming up in April and May. Neptune again is still moving forward, and he's changed his tack. He's looking much more at the people born now at the very end of February and November and May and August. But on the world stage he's not doing a great deal. Not yet. Wait till September for this one. Saturn is now retrograde, and he's moving backwards against the backdrop of the stars as the Earth goes round the other side of the Sun from him. And as a result, his influences are likely to be being felt more at the internal level. Apply this to a global perspective, and I suggest that many of the changes at the large-scale structural level over the last 3 or 4 months are now going to become much more implemented. The wiring underneath the boards is taking place now. Pluto is about to stand still and start going backwards, and this will happen around about the 15th, 16th of April. At this time, I suspect that a lot of issues around the future governance of the world are still going to be very high on the agenda. It is more at the minor level that things interest me. Firstly, Jupiter stops going retrograde in Leo very shortly now. It actually stops going retrograde about the 8th. Just as Pluto begins, so Jupiter stops. And then he moves forward, and I do feel that a lot of the promises of recent times are about to become a lot more potentially either flat on the face with nothing to show for them or very successful. I do expect globally a number of politicians to implode during April. It is the more minor stuff that's going on. It is particularly the sudden emphasis on the sign of Taurus during April, with Mars in attendance all month, as well as for part of the month the visit of the Sun and Mercury and Venus. So unusually for recent times, Taurus is getting a short, sharp burst of about 6 weeks of energy, and anyone with a strong Taurian element in their chart is going to find themselves becoming a lot more enlivened over the coming months. This particularly, not so much now during April, but during the first couple of weeks of May, does show signs of becoming increasingly volatile in the horoscopes of Israel and Palestine at the start of May. And if something happens there, you heard it here first. All of this is relatively inconsequential compared to the big one, which is the total eclipse of the moon on April the 4th. This will be visible in the southern hemisphere. Wrong. This will be visible over half the planet, one hemisphere, but north to south, not southern. I'm getting this wrong, but only half the world will see this because it's a total eclipse of the moon. That means it is full moon. So those of you who are in daylight at the moment of the eclipse of the moon will not see the eclipse. Those of you who are in darkness will, because you'll see the moon's light fade out. The actual eclipse itself is going to be a relatively brief one. It will be total, but only for a minute or so. It is not so much the fact that it's an eclipse or its duration, it is the position it is in. squaring Pluto and opposite Uranus, and bringing an end to the Uranus-Pluto square, bringing an end to the grand cross patterns of both 2010 and 2012, bringing an end to the increasingly intense periods of crises and trauma that have been escalating since January 2014 and reached a peak both in January 2015 and mid-March 2015. And for many, many people, I'm saying that the second week of April is really the start of 2015. That the end of 2014 is at this lunar eclipse. And for those of you that are in a state of closure, bring things to an end. Okay, keep it clean, but close the door, make it final, do everything you can to help, but keep it clean. And you should find that closure becomes more and more of an easily achievable target, and once doors are closed, new doors can open. If I were treating the globe, or the earth and all of its inhabitants as a single organism, and they were a client of mine, I would be saying, well, over the coming month, well, over the coming week, the first week of April, hold your breath. Keep your fingers crossed. And from the second week of April onwards, planet Earth, you can tentatively and cautiously lower shields and even dare to begin to dream of new futures. So for one last breath, as far as April 2015 goes, planet Earth, one last time, hang in there. There you go, folks. I hope that was fun. I hope that was helpful and even a little bit instructional. I'll be back same time next month. Big thank you, as always, to those people who donate. Those 1s, 2s and £5, they make the difference. They pay for these videos and they keep me going. So thank you. And I am going to be on tour. Look at the website for details, but you'll see me in 1 or 2 rather strange places this year, this month even. All eyes to the website, stevejudd.com, and I'm back here next month. Have a great month. Bye.